What is going on, everybody? It is I, the one and only Gyurk Skywalker. Hope you guys are having a great day today. This is going to be a combined episode on the reviews for both Bad Batch episodes 12 and 13. If you guys like the content you guys are getting, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave me a comment in the comment section down below, and hit the notification bell so you never, ever miss another episode from yours truly, the one and only Gyurk Skywalker. Go also check out my gaming channel, your boy Hemophilia Gaming. I got a clip I'm going to be posting up there later today as well. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for enjoying the summer content. Hope you guys are all staying safe, staying healthy, and have been enjoying this Bad Batch review series so far and all the other summer content I've been putting out. With that being said, let's get into it, boys and girls. So, Bad Batch episode 12 was important in the sense where they freed Hera's parents, being the Bad Batch frees Hera's parents, along with the help of Hera and Omega, and Hera takes her first flights. Hera takes her first flight steps. Her first steps of flight by herself. And it's very unique to see this character continue to, grow. And it's also very cool to see Omega grow as well, because Omega continues to be very insightful in both of these episodes. A little less in episode 12 and 13. The Bad Batch, of course, are really hesitant to help Hera at first. They are very hesitant to help Hera at first. Now, before I continue any farther, you might be wondering, why am I wearing this Stormtrooper mask from The Mandalorian? Well, my hair looks like crap, so that would be why. So, yeah, anyway. Moving forward. So, Hauser continues to show qualities that he is not entirely affected by Order 66 like the rest of the clones. So what it means is that either A, the Order 66, the inhibitor chips will wear off on the clones, or it's just not as effective, and some are more affected by following orders and are more, forced to follow orders with their chips, are more easily swayed and programmed to follow all orders, whether they're good or bad, than some. Because at the end of episode 12, or near the end, Hauser says, listen, you guys gotta go. Once they freed Hera's parents, he's like, listen, you guys gotta get out of here. Go. I will deal with them. I gotta talk to my men. I gotta see if I can free them. Hunter is running out, and then he turns back to Hauser, and he says, you know what? Maybe we should rescue him at some point and pretty much put him on the squad, is what I'm sure he's thinking, because he sees Hauser is a good man. He's not just a clone. He is not just another number, and he's not just another programmable drone for the Empire. He is his own person, as all the clones are in their own way. And Hauser goes out there, and he says to all his men, listen, we have served, and we have kept these people safe, and now we're rounding them up because we don't agree with them? Well, you know what? I don't like this. I didn't sign up for this. So I'm not going to serve tyranny. Who's with me? He drops his weapon, and to my surprise, and to I'm sure many other people's surprise, some of the other clones dropped their weapons. The clone uprising has begun, ladies and gentlemen. The clone uprising has begun. Let me see your identification. Yeah, so the clone uprising has definitely begun in a certain way. Those clones, of course, that did drop their weapons along with Hauser, they get arrested, obviously, because they betrayed the Empire in some of the other clones' minds. And I just think it's really cool that these other clones, I was not expecting them to maybe drop their weapons. I maybe even expected all of them to, and then have, the human recruits that Crosshair was with I was expecting to see more of them arrest all the main clones. Is like, this is a symbol of the end of the clones being, the main soldiers of the Empire. And of course, we do know that eventually it will change to that, where it will no longer be clone troopers. It will be conscripted human soldiers as the Imperial Stormtroopers for the Galactic Empire. And of course, they would also be the TIE fighter pilots, Imperial officers, Imperial shuttle officers, Imperial Death Star pilot drones, TIE fighter pilots, security guards, the works. Scout troopers, you name it. So they freed Hera's parents. It's kind of a... we do also hear that Onfrey Tott actually survived getting shot in the head by Crosshair, which I also thought was very interesting, to say the least. I was definitely not expecting that. But yeah, overall, they escaped, they freed Hera's parents. Hera and her parents are gonna basically regroup, and they're gonna start an alliance. They're gonna start building up. They're gonna start going back and start looking for Hera's father's people that served with him when Ryloth was under the oppression of the Separatists during the Clone Wars. And Omega and Hera part ways. They give a nice hug. They have a very nice friendship. And that episode ends. Overall, the biggest thing, again, like I said, the clone uprising has begun. Hauser rebels, and several other clone troopers rebelled, and they have decided they are not going to serve the Empire. So they will be taken to execution. They will definitely be taken to Cell 11138. I wasn't notified. I'll have to clear it. Yeah, I'm just nerding out right now with this Stormtrooper helmet on. Also, I really don't know how these morons can breathe. And it's no wonder they're terrible shots, because you can't hardly see anything in this helmet. Yeah, it's it's pretty bad. That's all I'm gonna say. Whoa, camera. Yeah, I'm working on it. It's still, like I said, this is the last series where I'm gonna have my camera like this or like this. So yeah, because I'm gonna be getting a webcam and some other stuff around for Book of Boba Fett. And I want to do watch parties for Book of Boba Fett, but I don't know if that's going to be happening. I'll let you guys know when we get closer to it. Anyway, moving on to episode 13. Cid, the Trandoshan female that hires the Bad Batch for all the, projects and contracts and work and pays them for that. She gets kind of smuggled out of her own business by a crime lord's son. The son being by the name of Roland Duran. And he's the same species as one of Kanan Jarrus' friends from Star Wars Rebels. If you guys watch the episode Roland, you'll know for those that know and understand Rebels, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about this yellow-skinned, horned, dark orc, or yellow orc elf-looking creature that has two horns on the side, that has just two horns on the side. There's a character in Star Wars Rebels who's one of Kanan Jarrus' good friends, and he was a former criminal kind of sorta. So anyway, Cid plans for the Bad Batch to steal the spice from her office that Roland has taken over. So they go underneath the city of Ord Mantell in the old mining tunnels, and when they're going through them, she tells the Bad Batch, "We got to be careful about the hive." And they're like, "The what?" Because they have an infestation. Ord Mantell's underneath the city in the mining tunnels of Ord Mantell. There are big freaking hives and infestations. They're called earlings. And they're basically a mixture of Geonosians, those creatures, those bug-like Covenant creatures from the Halo series, that are bugs that fly around, and Gundarks. They're not big. They're a little bit bigger than Geonosians, but they also kind of more so remind me of the creatures from Halo. The Covenant bugs that fly around in the Halo series. But Geonosian was the first one I went to because, They're the only other bug. They're one of the other bugs we've seen in mainstream Star Wars that, flies around and kills people, especially clones. But not these clones, because they're kind of unstoppable almost. So anyway, Wrecker gets freaked out by one of the creature's noises and drops his flashlight, but it doesn't awake the hive. So they get through there. They get to the ladder, which leads into Cid's office. And one of her friends. She has two friends. She has a Weequay friend. Weequays are the things that are on Jabba's sail barge. They're kind of like the ugly, wrinkled creatures. Those that know Hondo Ohnaka, they're part of his species. And there was also a Ithorian who has his Ithorian language to basic translator hooked up around his neck so he can actually speak English, because Ithorians without that are unable to speak English. They can only speak whatever their Ithorian language is. They're like the big hammerhead looking orange creatures, orange species from the Star Wars universe. Watch the Clone Wars 2D series. There's an Ithorian Jedi Knight who has a war throat, and if you watch Volume 2, it's when Grievous invades and tries to take over Chancellor or is trying to capture Chancellor Palpatine. Yeah, there's an Ithorian Jedi Knight that's protecting Chancellor Palpatine along with Shaak Ti and another Jedi Knight that's kind of big, fat, and white and furry. Those ones. Yeah, anyway, so they are keeping watch of Roland to make sure he's not there. They lead his pet Rose, his pet Ruby, who the Bad Batch saved in a previous episode, outside. They lead her outside with Mantel Mix, which is like Star Wars popcorn, basically. They put a cage over her, they capture her, they have her, and then the creature breaks free, and they start running away. Roland gets it, and then he tells the men to he tells his men, his hired muscle, to bring them back in to him, because they're gonna get interrogated and get killed, essentially. Or at least that's what he wants. The Bad Batch get the spice. When they return to the room when Roland returns to the room with his pet, his newly rescued pet, he finds that the spice has been stolen. He sends his men underneath the mines. They start blaster firing, and then the swarm of infestation, the Earlings, start flying up. They take out the men, Roland's men, pretty easily. The Bad Batch gets away, just barely gets away. And the spice falls into the mines below, deep below, near the swarm. And unfortunately for Roland, he got mixed up with the Pikes to get them spice. And unfortunately, he cannot deliver. So therefore, he's in deep crap. And yeah, so they wanna essentially they wanna execute him. So that's exactly what they plan on doing, unless of course the Bad Batch and Cid, who makes the proposition to get the spice back for them. They have to leave. The only condition is they get to keep Omega and Roland there. The Bad Batch does not like that, but they don't really have a choice. So Wrecker and Cid are the ones that that rappel down into the mines. Wrecker, of course, does not like heights, nor does he like going down in there because Wrecker has his weaknesses. He doesn't really like giant swarms of bugs. He's not afraid. He's just a little bit nervous, and he doesn't really like going down from far places or being with heights. He does not. We know that for a fact. He does not like heights. Under any circumstances does he like heights. So anyway, they actually get down in there. They get the spice, the cartons of spice, and unfortunately the bugs, as they're being repelled up, Wrecker and Cid, as they're both being repelled up, Cid accidentally hits, her body weight hits one of the carts that was still on the mining tunnel tracks. It falls below, makes a giant noise, and there's silence, and then all of a sudden, the swarm comes up and starts attacking both of them. Wrecker's freaking out on the comms. It's kind of humorous, but it's also like, I feel bad for him. I would be genuinely terrified. And she starts shooting, slime's going all over him, a whole bunch of junk. They get them pulled up. Tech is finishing a makeshift flashbang bomb. He throws the giant flashbang bomb down there. It explodes, and this giant thing of light, because they don't like light. They do not like flashlights, because they're like I said, they're nocturnal creatures, and they don't really, they see with more vibrations. Most of these like bug-like creatures in Star Wars that are not sentient in this way, like these ones, the Geonosians are sentient to a point, but they're not fully sentient because they are still bug-like creatures, but they are half sentient. These creatures, that the earlings that we're dealing with in this Bad Batch episode, they are not sentient in any way, shape, or form. They are basically just animals. They are wild beasts that will not be tamed, that cannot, they do not hear right from wrong, and they do not know, the definition of mercy is not in their train of thought in any way, shape, or form. Whatever the case may be. The flashbang bomb startles all of them. They get blasted, they get stunned, and then the Bad Batch manages to get Wrecker, Cid, and the Spice back on their ship. They fly back to Ord Mantell, back to Cid's bar. They hand the Spice back to the Pikes, the crime syndicate that Han Solo and Tobias Beckett and Chewie and Lando and Kira would steal from in Solo: A Star Wars Story on the spice mines of Kessel. For Dryden Voss, and yeah, that's another thing that they're from as well, and they're from the Clone Wars series too, as well. So, but of course, then they're still gonna hurt Roland because you don't mess with the Pikes. They don't take bad deals. What the main guy said, the one leader of them says, but he doesn't kill Roland. He just knifes him, and he knifes off one of his horns and takes it for him, and he says, it would be bad for our paths to cross again. Meaning, if I see you again, I will kill you. We will definitely kill you this time. Omega runs over to Roland. Omega even says to them before that you're making a mistake. Omega goes over to him after he only has one horn left, asks if he's okay. He said, "Well, it's a small price to pay." He says he says I'll be going now. He leaves. Cid's got their office back. Hunter asks Omega, "Why did you stick up for him after everything he has done?" She's like, "Well, he's not all bad. He just made a mistake." And once again, I do like that Omega has this insightfulness about her, where she really doesn't see the world as so black and white, or the good guys are good, the bad guys are bad, and that's how it is. She has a very, I don't want to say innocent, outlook on the world, but she definitely has something like that. And I find it hard for me to find words to say about it, other than the fact that she is a very, very special person in the Star Wars universe. And I don't just mean that because she's a clone of Jango Fett, and the only difference is her mutations made her a female, compared to all the other clones, which are all male. Basically, all the sons of Jango Fett. Anyway, that's beside the point. Yeah. So then the episode ends. Overall, I felt episode 12 was important. I would say it's at least a 7.5 out of 10. Episode 13, not as important, but, it was unique. It was very, very... It was a fun little action-adventure episode. Kind of boring, so I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I'm hoping for some better episodes, because again, this is episode 13, so we only have 3 episodes left, guys. We have episodes 14, 15, I believe, according to Star Wars Theory, what he said, there's only going to be 16 episodes in this first season, which again, 16 episodes, that's 4 more episodes than Clone Wars Season 7, and that's 8 more episodes than both Mando Season 1 and 2, which both seasons combined make 16 episodes. So, the fact that we got 16 episodes this time around for a Star Wars show, at once, I really like, because, I'm going to be honest with you, I was kind of unimpressed that Clone Wars Season 7, the final season of Clone Wars, after it being canceled for so many years, only got 12 episodes. Which again, it was still, other than the middle arc, it was a great season. The first arc was amazing. The second arc was absolutely a masterpiece. But the middle arc was absolute crap, because the Martez sisters, terminate them immediately. So, yeah, overall, episode 12 is a 7.5 out of 10. This is it. Episode 13, 7 out of 10. What did you guys think of the episodes, though? That's all I have to say about these episodes. Overall, pretty good. Episode 12 definitely more important to the plot of the clones and their place in the Empire, and Hera and her parents starting the fires of the rebellion, that will eventually become the Rebel Alliance. It'll be about 14 years before it really becomes an alliance, though. Canonical, timeline-wise. And then, of course, episode 13, Hunter, the Bad Batch gets involved with the Pikes and other crime organizations, and they see more of what the galaxy is like, other than, fighting as soldiers. And Omega gets another taste of experience under her belt for life experience and dealing with people in this vast, wonderful galaxy of Star Wars. What did you guys think of the episode? Did you guys like them? Did you guys hate them? Let me know in the comments down below. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys are having a great summer, enjoying the summer content. Once again, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let me know if you guys like the content I'm making, or tell me if you dislike my content, because that tells me I'm not doing my job, and tell me where I can improve on. God bless, and as always, remember, the Force will be with you, always. The Force will be with you, always. Subscribe. You will subscribe. I will subscribe to Gurk Skywalker. Peace out, everybody.